Good day, my precious lily pals. It's just that kind of night, you know? Just wanna cozy up and just chill. And I think tonight's stream is gonna be leaning well into that feeling. I slept from like 10:30ish in the morning all the way up to like quarter to 4? No, quarter to 5. So I'm still feeling a little groggy. A groggy little froggy. But I don't think that will inhibit on my ability to function throughout stream. Considering all I'm doing is just narrating and reading off SCPs. You know, as well as wanting to just kind of chill tonight. I know I'm also interested vaguely in a little bit of spoops. You know, where it counts. You know, just something. It doesn't have to be spooky. It could just be fascinating or strange, as SCP is always fraught with such content. It's an SCP night. Can you tell I'm still a little I'm still a bit tired. I'm just kind of loopy. So maybe I'm not so groggy after all, I'm just tired.
Jay, my wifey.
And I bet Stellar is there with you. My wifey is my lovely gay loves. I was just saying how much I slept today, and I'm still kind of in the loopy tired. But it's all good. It means I'm in a good mood. I know to start things off, it won't be anything too bad. We just jump right into the SCP Wiki. I got a request for a particular SCP from one Ben, a fellow comrade of the Frog Army. So we're gonna look at that one first. Wherever it is, I just know it's in the J. It's in the J's. Where is it? Where it be? Where? Here it is. SCP Big Egg. Sleepy Wife Solidarity. Okay. SCP Big Egg. Object class was Euclid and is now Keter. Special containment procedures. SCP Big Egg is kept in a specially manufactured Big Egg carton located in Egg Observation Site 77 Any and all changes are to be immediately reported to the site director, who has the egg authority to call down Mobile Task Force Row 19 Egg, the frying pan, to dispatch or terminate SCP Big Egg using several jumbo, industrial-sized vats of big balsamic vinegar. Description: SCP Big Egg is a big egg, an unidentifiable object masked by an anti-memetic egg field, which prevents any and all sapient breakfast consumers from perceiving it or the situations surrounding it in any other way than Big Egg. A mild yet big semantic egg property prevents SCP Big Egg from being referred to as any other official, proper, or big designation. Visually, SCP Big Egg appears to be a big egg, complete with appropriate egg parts such as shell, membrane, white, and yolk, all of which have been appropriately upscaled to the correct big to be fitting for Big Egg. It was at one point a much smaller Big Egg. Has since increased in big size. I'm already losing it. Limited research conducting using mnestic egg drugs has suggested that Big Egg's true form might be an obese naked man. Who has been observed running throughout the facility yelling, "It worked! They'll never know I'm not Big Egg!" Fuck. I can't. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Peace, quiet, tranquility. These claims are in dispute, as a battery of scientific tests have shown SCP Big Egg to only be a bird egg of unusual big. Reports of egging Big Egg. And general mayhem throughout the Foundation related to SCP Big Egg are to be roundly ignored as its egg properties. A big and egg roundly preclude these possibilities. Addendum 1 with a couple of experiments. Experiment number 35, testing, length, method. A standard tape measure and an egg ladder were used to precisely measure the exact size of Big Egg. Result. SCP Big Egg was found to be roughly big centimeters. Note, I'm not even sure what we were expecting. Experiment number 36, testing, semantic resistance. Method D3455 was instructed to walk up and clearly vocalize the words egg bake. Result data egg sponged. Note. Oh. Addendum 2. Unfortunately, SCP Big Egg has recently experienced a growth spurt, meaning it is almost twice as big as nearly 4 times its egg. The egg semantic property is beginning to spread to egg objects nearest Big Egg as well, and there are several psychological and perceptive anomalies. The entire egg site is affected by this big problem. What do you recommend, Dr. Sunnyside? Goddamn. This is big. It's time to enact Protocol Big Egg. I'm going to authorize MTF VE to big the egg once and for all. Site Director Crispy Bacon. Oh my god. Oh, Site Director, not you too. Big Egg. Big Egg. Oh my god. Addendum 3. A big sheet of egg paper was recovered alongside Big Egg. Wow, you just found yourself your very own breakfast menu. A limited time collection served from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. from the waffle shop. Eat them all and your money back. Oh my god. Oh my god. These are all links just to different stuff. Mr. Belgian Waffle. Mr. Belgian Waffle with chocolate chips. Mr. Stack of 4 pancakes. Mr. French Toast. Mr. 1 egg. Check. Mr. 2 eggs. Mr. Villager Omelette. Mr. Bacon and Cheese Omelette. Mr. Poached Egg. Miss 1 hot fresh cinnamon roll straight from our bakery. 11. Mr. Bacon 4 thick strips or Mr. Sausage 5 links. Mr. Fruit Cup, Mr. Home Fries, Mr. Grapefruit, Mr. Cottage Cheese, Mr. Quaker Hot Oatmeal with brown sugar, Mr. Juice, Orange, Apple, and Cranberry, Mr. Coffee, Mr. Tea, and Mr. Milk, Chocolate, Skim, Whole, or Fish. Eggdendum Big. Big Egg. Big Egg, Big Egg, Big Egg. Touch it, biggity bag egg. The egg gets bigger. Hang on. I got a message, Ben. Only just started stream. dying. Mario. Oh my god. My big stonefish. Oh my fucking god. Oh, that was amazing. Holy shit. Whew. I already need a drink. Sparkling pink grapefruit. And of course I have just regular water on standby. I should probably take it now. Clear my throat up a bit. Okay. Oh, that was amazing. Okay. I am immediately curious about this one. SCP-6868, Bubbly Bobby the Rubber Ducky. I know. I first saw the headline for the article, and I immediately thought I immediately thought of that old animation, that old song on YouTube, the duck song, Lemonade Stand. Came to the man running the stand. He was like, "Hey, got any grapes?" Anyway. SCP-6868. Containment Class Safe. Disruption Class Dark. Risk Class Danger. I'm not familiar with necessarily what either of those constitutes, particularly the Disruption Class. But it's safe. It can be safely contained without much worry. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-6868 is to be contained in a standard animate object containment unit at Site-228. All handling of SCP-6868 is to be performed while wearing gloves. SCP-6868 is not to be brought near any liquids. Description: SCP-6868 is an animate and sentient rubber duck toy, which is 9 by 9.5 by 8 centimeters large. On its bottom, a stylized W has been printed in purple. SCP-6868 is able to maneuver itself slowly with small jumps. Since recovery, SCP-6868 has refused all attempts at communication, hopping away from any personnel attempting to come near it. It has been determined that SCP-6868 has haphophobia, that is, fear of human contact or being touched. Its main anomalous property is triggered upon physical contact with any liquid. SCP-6868 is able to transform liquid substances into purified water and pink soap bubbles. The bubbles then form small animate replicas of various types of ships, submarines, and airplanes, which then start to fly and sail autonomously. These bubbles are noted to be edible and taste similar to strawberries. This anomalous property is capable of converting liquid to purified water at a speed of 5 liters per second. This process is automatic, with SCP-6868 seemingly having no control over the effect. Once removed from the liquid, the conversion will immediately stop, and all converted liquids show no further anomalous properties. Addendum 6868-1 Discovery Log. Goodness, my throat already. During routine text message surveillance, a series of texts seemingly referring to an anomalous object led to the discovery of SCP-6868 and Klaus Hartz's personal effects. An excerpt of text messages between Klaus Hartz and Otto Knebel have been included below. Otto, what's up? Found a box on the side of the road. Remember opening that stuff at the warehouse? Of course I do. You gonna open it? You know it. Mystery box time. Ugh, I hate these stupid scissors. I just cut my finger opening this. Lol, serves you right for stealing! Hey, there could be anything in here. It's probably some dude's mail. You're gonna feel like a horrible person in 3, 2... What? That's weird. The box is rattling. Congrats, you just stole someone's pet snake. Don't think so. There's no air holes. And it's a rubber duck and a note. Yikes. Hartz then sent a photo of a handwritten note which has been transcribed below. Got a new prototype from work for you. I'm sorry I haven't been there that much. Hopefully Bobby will keep you company while I'm gone. Love, Dad. While I'm God. Okay, yeah, it's clearly a Wondertainment project. Or product. Oh, it's worse. You stole from a child. Wait! What? Thing moves on its own. No batteries either. How? He's kinda cute. It's just hopping around on its own. Neat toy. Send a video. Look at this! I haven't touched it! Your cat's gonna eat it, lol. He's fast. Okay, I've cornered him. The door's locked. Could you let me in? Klaus, you come into the door? Klaus? During the autopsy of Klaus Hartz, all bodily fluids were found to be purified water with a large number of pink soap bubbles found inside Hartz's chest cavity. Oh. Oh. That's the rub. That's the catch. Huh. Simple yet effective. Let's see. Now we're gonna do randoms. Alright. With a... Ooh! Pride flag! Flags. Hooray! Every month is Pride Month. SCP-4841 with a rating of 66, so decent. Pretty good, apparently substantial. Photograph found attached to SCP-4841-2. Caption on the reverse reads, Yakov Tsanov before 1905 war. Can I... Nope. So SCP-4841, Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. In cooperation with the Russian government, SCP-4841 has been cordoned off from the rest of Sviatylishcha, Russian, and public access has been prevented under the guise of a military land seizure. Foundation archaeological digs are planned in the vicinity of SCP-4841 for mid-2020. Description: SCP-4841 is the Church of St. John in the village of Sviatylishcha, Turakansky District, Russia. SCP-4841 was constructed in the 1690s and is believed to have been built on top of an earlier Ket structure. used for an unknown religious purpose. An indigenous group to the area and only surviving Yanesian people as of 2019. I see. Any depiction of a human figure brought into SCP-4841 will, after an indeterminate period of time beneath 1 hour, begin to anomalously generate blood around the eyes and wrists in the painting. The latter is similar to the purported Christian miracle of stigmata, which the congregation initially mistook it for. Shortly afterwards, the eyes of the painting will appear to move independently. They most commonly look at people present in the church, other depictions of the human form, and at the altarpiece. Although no corroborating documents were found, longtime Sviatilish residents claim that SCP-4841 was abandoned at some point in the early 20th century. A new church was completed in January 1911, which served the community until an accidental fire damaged it in August 2018. I can read. I'm tired, but I can read. SCP-4841's anomalous properties were thus only discovered on September 29, 2018, when Orthodox icons were taken into the building after it was temporarily reopened. In addition to its anomalous properties, SCP-4841 also features several highly unusual iconographical and architectural elements. Its construction in stone, a very rare occurrence in 17th century Siberia. The only other known examples are secular buildings at Tobolsk and Abalak, which bear little resemblance to SCP-4841. Analysis of the stone showed that it originated in northern Mongolia and had probably been reused from a previous structure on the site. Carvings on the exterior showing St. John with multiple arms. Aside from his characteristic chalice, he is also holding a cross staff. An unusual inscription carved on a wall close to the church entrance. Although heavily damaged, apparently deliberately, it appears to be the words of a prayer to St. John, which implores his aid against sin, temptation, and masters. Analysis of the carving dates it to the early 20th century. Further analysis is planned. Addendum 4841-1. On June 6, 2019, the Foundation recovered the collection of Henry Korsakov, an American businessman of Russian descent who was involved in several anomalous communities. Among his belongings were several pages of a journal belonging to an unknown individual and an attached photograph, see above. The journal was primarily written in Russian, but with some words believed to have originated in an unknown Yenisei dialect. Yenisei? A translation of the journal entries follows. December 29, 1910, or January 11, 1911 in the Gregorian calendar. Miss Elena from down in the village proper died the other day. People are very angry about it. I turned 9 today, but I don't feel very happy about it because they are blaming Charky Miroslava for it. Mama says it's the new priest, the one from Moscow, because he doesn't understand why we love St. John so much. I asked Charky Miroslava about it, but she said that all she'd done was crafting, which I saw her do on Yakov when he came back from the war, and it worked on him. If that's what she did, then it's not her fault. He didn't die. January 16th, 1911. They're going to build a new church and abandon the old one. The new priest says that there's too much of the pagan scream around it. Mama called him from a demon? Easterner? And said that he had been gone too. All the others that had tried had gone. She told me stories of John and Ludmilla, his consort, and the war against the masters in Christ's name, and then she took the wart from my skin. Boys started throwing stones today at me and Dmitri. Yakov and Afanasy told me that their fathers and grandfathers had loved St. John too, they'd just forgotten. Yakov said that when his grandfather was young, they had all loved St. John, and even the savages down the river had loved him, dozens of them. It's only 3 families now who remember how now. January 22nd, 1911. I got chased away from the school today. The old teacher was a lover? But he had tried to leave after the stuff in Petrograd last year. But the new one keeps telling Dmitri and I that we've been taught wrong. Presumably the 1905 revolution. Rural teachers were often involved in political activism during the revolution, but this swiftly declined after its suppression. I'm really scared and there's nobody to talk to. Mama keeps taking us to the church to listen to Afanasy talk when the priest is gone. He carved a prayer into the wall and taught it to us to keep away the demons, Easterners, away. I tried to talk to Yakov, but he just told me to have faith and to be like Saint San and to hide myself. January 23rd, 1911. We're in the church, all of us, Stanovs and Korsakovs and us Petrovs. Yakov did something, and they can't come through the door, but it's cold and we don't have much food. Dmitri keeps looking pale and wanting to run away, but Mama Korsakov said he couldn't, that the bone on the door couldn't be broken or we'd all die. I just want to go home. There's not much food left. Yakov keeps talking about how nobody remembers, but I don't think he does, or Afanasy. They just keep saying the words over and over again that Yakov's grandfather taught then. But they're just words that do things. They've forgotten what they meant. I don't think St. John did the things they said. Nobody else thinks so but us. I think Mama is. I think she's not. January 31st, 1911. It's cold and the bone is breaking. Mama is sick and weak and Yakov just keeps chanting and Afanasy keeps chanting at the walls, but we can't get out. They're all outside and their torches are aflame and there's no way out. St. John will save us, Yakov says. He overthrew the Easterners? Deva? And he led Lyudmila to the light of the flesh. But we've all forgotten. We just need to remember what we were and it'll be fine. Afanasy says he's found a way to cure us forever, but we won't like it. The flesh must mix with the loam, stone, and become whole, but I don't want to. He says we'll have to weep and weep and weep, and the stigmata will keep pouring out, and we'll just stare as the flesh in the walls. Mama is sick and she keeps crying out. We can't leave. John save us. John save us. John save us. Aha! Aha! Ha ha! Ha. Sarcasm. Okay. Oh, right. Right, I'm not doing like the random in a particular series. I'm just going total random. Okay. SCP 1085 with a rating of 215. It's definitely an older one, but seems to have done pretty alright for itself. Item number SCP-1085, Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. All confirmed copies of SCP-1085 are to be stored in Video Archive 38 Beta at Site-38. All similar copies are to be located, quarantined, and analyzed for anomalous properties, and either released for retail sale or contained. Copies of SCP-1085 may be destroyed only by D-Class personnel. However, given the doubtful benefit to Foundation research and the total unusability of personnel after such destruction, this is generally considered a waste of resources and requires approval from Site-38 Command. Should the number of SCP-1085 iterations become difficult to contain, alternate measures, mass destruction via steamroller or explosive detonation, may be taken into consideration. All civilians affected by SCP-1085 are to be treated as well as possible, though no confirmed survivors have have as yet been located. Description: SCP-1085 is a fitness exercise DVD entitled Blank Blank, 1 month to pound off the pounds, starring the eponymous fitness guru. The DVD contains 4 calisthenic routines of increasing difficulty, each designed to be performed 5 to 6 times per week before moving on to the next level. All of the routines include some form of boxing or martial arts regimen, and places a strong emphasis on cardio and abdominal workouts. SCP-1085's anomalous effects are present in 20% of the copies of Pound Off the Pounds produced to date. The majority of copies lack any anomalous properties, and neither Blank Blank herself nor any part of the DVD's production has been verified to be responsible for SCP-1085. These properties begin to manifest when one or more individuals watch the workouts contained on the DVD. Effects vary depending on the routine being done in any given week. The workouts and their effects are detailed below. Due to large number of copies of SCP-1085 acquired, authorization given on February 19th blank to begin experimental destruction of a limited number of redundant copies. D-Class personnel chosen for this assignment disposed of the DVDs by physically crushing the disc and throwing the pieces into a garbage can. All D-Class personnel who carried out the assignment began developing the symptoms of late-stage SCP-1085 exposure, without having actually viewed any of the workouts. Current research suggests that the entity portraying Blank Blank in SCP-1085 may be an actual organism rather than a hallucination on the parts of affected individuals. Addendum 1085-A. Description of the videos. Week 1. Workout consists of a warm-up session followed by 3 6-minute circuits, 3 minutes of strength training, 2 minutes of cardio, 1 minute of abdominal exercise, and a cool-down session. Workouts will be unusual in composition but will not be seen as difficult, even for extremely out-of-shape individuals. Guilty. Such individuals will express surprise at their ability to complete the workout, along with a determination to complete the rest of the month's workouts. The workout will seem easier as the week proceeds due to general improvement of physical conditioning. The host and narrator will provide encouraging words throughout the workout and at the end, emphasizing the ability of the audience to change their lives through positive thinking. No anomalous qualities detected with this workout. Individuals completing this workout once or even repeatedly have been able to stop the workout without negative side effects. A notable excerpt from this workout includes, "This is not just a workout. This is the roadmap for the rest of your life. I know what you're capable of, and you will give it to me, and you will never stop giving. Not ever." Week 2. Similar workout structure as Week 1. However, the workout intensifies significantly in difficulty. Notably, the workout will demonstrate a slight variance depending on the physical ability and willingness of the individual to complete it. Given their successes in Week 1, individuals will feel motivated to complete the workout in spite of the extensive physical discomfort required. Those more inclined to quit find the workout to be slightly less difficult, though the narration will be angrier and more negative in tone. Regardless, very few individuals, blank %, opt to give up on the program at this point, even when such an option is provided, and even when the individuals did not feel strongly motivated to lose weight at the beginning of the program. Those abandoning the month-long program during Week 2 report recurring nightmares for up to blank months, in which, data redacted, for what feels like days. These nightmares are most common after days in which such individuals eat excessive amounts of fatty foods. Those remaining in the program will report an increasing degree of platonic affection for the host and a desire to please her. Meanwhile, the host will become increasingly agitated with the individual's progress, regardless of the difficulty or degree of effort put forth. This agitation becomes evident when the host says, "We are all weak, but you are here to bleed the weakness out. I want you to bleed if you have to, and I want you to thank me for the person you become." Week 3. Similar workout structure as Weeks 1 and 2, though workouts will vary in length from 3 to 6 circuits depending on the physical ability of the individual performing the workout. The host's commentary will now be overtly targeted towards the actions of the audience, directly critiquing the individual's efficiency, thoroughness, and form during each circuit. At no point will individuals watching Week 3's workout notice anything strange about the host watching them and responding to their behavior with further instructions. When individuals are not performing the workout, they will more acutely perceive their physical flaws and feel motivated to work out on their own, to the point of almost totally eschewing motor transportation in favor of running and doing calisthenic activities such as push-ups and crunches in as much of their spare time as possible. This effect will often endanger affected individuals' social status, as others will perceive marked irregularities and eccentricities in their behavior. Affected individuals will increasingly ignore outside criticisms of their behavior in favor of what blank wants. In spite of any degree of physical conditioning and devotion to the host's will, no circumstance has developed in testing in which any individual has been successful in placating the host, who will show only disgust with the individual's progress. At the end of the workout, the host will always say, "I wanted so little from you, and you failed me. I will never be finished with you." Week 4. Once an individual begins to watch the Week 4 workout, they can be designated as SCP-1085-1. The workout consists of a video of the room in which all the other workouts took place. The room is empty and silent. Individuals who have carried out the workout regimen to this point will begin to display emotional distress, frequently begging the television screen to bring her back, or something similar. SCP-1085-1 instances will then begin to exercise compulsively and without provocation in front of the screen, often while crying. The video will last as long as the individual remains in front of the television. However, SCP-1085-1 instances will eventually leave the vicinity of the television. After watching the video, all instances of SCP-1085-1 will experience a total psychotic break from reality. Individuals will begin exercising compulsively and without rest. This may involve running, calisthenic exercise, jumping rope, or any other exertive activity. Many will refuse to speak during the activity or will repeat, "Never stop," again and again, one of the host's mottos. This manic exercise regimen will continue until affected individuals are physically incapable of further movement. If not given sustenance, SCP-1085-1 instances will starve or dehydrate. Such individuals must be physically restrained and immobilized to avoid death, though SCP-1085-1 instances thus restrained will claim to see the host screaming threats and obscenities at them. The resulting sleep deprivation is often fatal. Antipsychotic medicine and sleep-inducing agents have no effect. Addendum 1085-B. Experiment carried out February 12th blank into potential treatments for late-stage SCP-1085 effects. One individual, D5656, was exposed to all 4 weeks of SCP-1084 over the course of 4 days, developing symptoms along the expected schedule. After developing into the SCP-1085-1 stage, subject was given repeated Class A amnestic treatments. Upon waking, subject was determined not to recall his name, his crime, or the past 7 years of his life to any extent. When asked to describe the individuals he saw in the room, with the head researchers and one nurse present, subject described Dr. Blank, Nurse Blank, and "that angry-looking bitch who keeps glaring at me." Subject described an individual with blank blank's appearance, though with what he described as multiple open wounds on the limbs and a distorted face. Subject began to display agitation and fear, and requested that the third individual stop screaming at him. When told that there is nobody else in the room, subject rose from the bed and responded, "Funny, that's what she says about you," before commencing a series of jumping jacks. Holy shit. Addendum 1085-C. SCP-1038 is currently being considered for possible cross-testing involving SCP-1085 and several other media-based anomalies. Cross-testing is currently pending approval by Site-38 Director Jones. Which one is this? So basically, you work out till you die. Pretty neat, pretty spooky. I know I generally find it spooky because I'm someone who just has no motivation to exercise whatsoever. No motivation, no compulsion, no interest. Sad to say. Yeah, I know we could read 1038, but I don't know. I'm mainly just kinda deciding to do another random one on a whim. If y'all want to read 1038, you know the number. It's on the SCP Wiki, as are all these other articles. So, you know. Anyway. SCP-4839, the rating of 111. Notice to the Foundation, Multiversal Iteration 2N. By order of Eternal President Gerard Young, Earth, Multiversal Iteration 4V, has been severed from something jurisdiction and left to its own devices. Further involvement on the part of the Something Humanity Defense Corps would only have exacerbated the situation and led to cross-dimensional casualties. As an additional means to ensure eternal quarantine, Jelakra I don't know, himself has whispered the hymn of silent flesh into Iteration 4V. While regrettable, this action was a product of absolute necessity and executed to protect the multidimensional majority of humans. Fortunately, extraterrestrial life on 4V continues to thrive. We will now provide you with 4V's document SCP-4839, if only as a warning. P.S. It is recommended that Dr. Isaiah Henderson takes care of the info hazard decontamination. We believe he would benefit greatly from the experience. We know your cause is just, but for your own sake, know when to stop. You are watched, you are protected, you are loved. It's like 3 waxing crescents. Anyhow, we're dealing with something in multiverses. Iteration 1 from April 27th, 2022. That's this year. SCP-4839, Object Class Keter, Threat Level Black. This image contains a Fafnir-class info hazard and has been redacted. Colorful counter specifications for SCP-4839. Special containment procedures. Due to the large volume of SCP-4839 in existence, Mass Containment Zone 4839, hereafter MCZ-4839, has been constructed within SCP-2400. Let's just have a quick little peek. Open it functions as space-time aperture to an area now designated. Yeah. Okay. So, it's like a non-Euclidean geometry sort of deal. MCZ-4839 is composed of 2 warehouses for storage of SCP-4839, living quarters for staff, and barracks for guards. Each warehouse will be equipped with the Kalervo suppressor, thereby neutralizing the dangerous effects of contained instances. Items that carry SCP-4839 are to be contained as is. Living instances are to be accommodated with nutrition and other sustenance. Deceased instances are to be contained as well. Acquisition of additional SCP-4839 is to be carried out through the use of Kullervo detectors, available at every major Foundation site. Any usage of Kullervo detectors that deviates from the provided instruction manual is grounds for immediate termination of employment with the Foundation and the administration of Class C amnestics. Although SCP-4839 poses no threat while contained, it is estimated that only 4% of SCP-4839 in existence is currently under containment. Failure to contain at least 70% of SCP-4839 by December 2nd, 2065 will result in a Z-Class reality failure scenario. Description: SCP-4839 is a subatomic particle that can only be detected with a Barton-Sallis Kullervo detector. The Kullervo is a unit of measurement of a lethally infohazardous form of energy. Further information about Kullervo counts and their detection is restricted to personnel with 4839 clearance, or it was, but now is restricted to the administrator. It is discovered SCP-4839 cannot be transferred from its host object and does not affect the object's mass. It is extra-dimensional in origin and is believed to be the catalyst of another reality's forced assimilation of our own. Further information is restricted to the administrator. So far, SCP-4839 has been discovered in the following objects, with sources, acquisition strategies, and cover strategies. Source: Julep. Julep brand window-mounted air conditioners manufactured after 1986. Julep! Shout out to Julep. Acquisition: Julep Electric seized by the Foundation and dissolved. A product recall is in effect. Cover strategy is asbestos containment. Source: the Slow-Loris, Nycticebus bancanus. All wild instances, approximately 70% previously captive specimens, and approximately 40% of deceased specimens have been captured and contained. The species is extinct in the wild due to climate change. The works of the Italian Baroque painter Artemisia Gentileschi. Captured in raids, owners amnesticized. Lost in a warehouse fire. Leaves of the ginkgo tree, Ginkgo biloba. Acquisition ongoing. Complete containment would prove impractical. At most, 70% of live and deceased specimens can be contained. Covers a virus from the Mesozoic era that preyed upon ginkgo plants that has been released from Arctic permafrost due to climate change. More items may be added to this list pending the discovery of SCP-4839 elsewhere. And that was only the first iteration. Next we have iteration 2. As of June 13th, 2028, revisions have been made to this article. Is composed of 27 warehouses for storage of SCP-4839. Yada yada yada. Items that carry SCP-4839 are to be contained as is. Live instances are to be placed in suspended animation. Though SCP-4839 poses no threat while contained, it is estimated only 4% in existence is currently under containment. Failure to contain at least 90% of SCP-4839 by 2185 will result in a ZK-class reality failure scenario. It is extra-dimensional in origin and was believed, but then confirmed, to be the catalyst for the destruction of our universe by SCP-4839 Omega, a hostile reality-bending entity from Universe 91 Lambda. SCP-4839 Omega is also known as Drud Kullervo, or the Seventh Prince of Korbenik. So far, SCP-4839 has been discovered in 2,294 different types of objects. For a full list of acquisition and cover strategies, please refer to document 4839 Foxtrot. And you only got 6 more iterations to go. As of February 1st, 2032, this article has been reclassified. Object Class Drigiani. Item is currently under an official investigation for authenticity by the Overseer Council. All this crossed out. Audit report. February 14, 2032. Audited item. SCP-4839. Staff members responsible. Dr. Aaron Hamlin. Evidence against authenticity. Lack of testing records. Incident 99-150-B, whereupon a junior researcher accidentally dropped a Barton-Sallis Kullervo detector. Disassembly of the broken unit revealed no capacity to detect anomalous energy sources. Document 4939 Charlie. Written confession from Dr. Aaron Hamlin that the existence of GOI 4817 Green Sky Tavern was fabricated at the behest of an anonymous third party. Document 4839 Delta. A sworn declaration from GOI 419 Three Moons Initiative, claiming that the 7th Prince of Krebenik, their benefactor, was unaware of any of its alleged plans outlined in SCP-4839. In addition, the entity is not named Dread Kullervo and is considering extradimensional legal action against the Foundation for libel. That alone. That alone makes me like, how the fuck would they even do that? Aside from like anomalous technology to cross universes. But it's like, that's interesting, like, aspect, like, a group, a company in one universe having to sue, or, like, pending a lawsuit against, another company in another universe. Something about that amuses me. Document was provided by an SCP-2578-D instance and stamped with lie-detecting thaumaturgical glyphs. Evidence for authenticity. Document 4839 Tango as provided by the administrator. This document contains a Fafnir-class info hazard and has been redacted. 07 Council vote to decommission SCP-4839. 4 say yay, 7 say nay, and 2 abstained. Vote failed. SCP-4839 upheld. Iteration 4. There have been changes made. Object Class Keter Eschaton. MCC-4839 is composed of as many warehouses as needed for storage of SCP-4839, etc. Items that carry SCP-4839 are to be put in boxes and never taken out. Acquisition of additional SCP-4839 is to be carried out by any means necessary and over all other Foundation priorities. Failure to contain at least 96% of SCP-4839 as soon as possible will result in a ZK-class reality failure scenario. It is extradimensional in origin and very dangerous. It has been discovered in 13% of all matter on Earth, as well as every anomalous item in Foundation custody. In addition, it has been confirmed that SCP-4839 is directly responsible for the hostile military action upon the Foundation by agents of the Three Moons Initiative, as well as the subsequent Iteration 4V dimensional quarantine event that is yet to be explained. Iteration 5, changes. Object class, bad. Threat level, really bad. Special containment procedures. Keep putting it in the boxes. Then keep it in the boxes. Don't steal. This isn't hard. Stop saying it is. Description? None needed. Addendum. Notice from the administrator. Look, I know there's been a lot of changes lately. More sad people. More screaming. More people not wanting to put things in the box. More people not wanting to be in the box. More people thinking that the boxes are bad and that there are too many boxes. That I can't fit a whole planet in a box. That too many people are dying in the boxes. That we can't put a box of all boxes in a box. That's a pair of ducks or something. That there's no real reason to keep putting things in boxes. That this was all some kind of K-class scenario in itself. It's confusing, I get that. It makes my head hurt. It takes really, 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 really smart people to understand it. And that's where you guys come in. I love all the work you're doing. You do what I can't because I'm not human anymore. Which is okay. Just a part of give and take, right? There was a story where a guy gave his right eye to another guy for wisdom. I forget how the rest of it goes. Point being, necessary sacrifices. You don't think I've been having problems too? There's something that makes me sad. It goes like this. See, I'm the administrator. That means I administrate. All the things in the Foundation are here because I have them. And even then, there are people who think that I'm going too far. Putting things in boxes is bad. I get that. You know what's worse? Stealing. Love, Aaron Hamlin, Administrator of the Foundation. P.S. Please see this guide to not being sad if you're feeling sad. This document contains a Fafnir class info hazard and has been redacted. And then the final iteration. Oh, I forgot. This one was made in July 20th, 2305. Iteration 5, October 30th, 5792. And now iteration 6, November 18th, 9047. Item number, mine. Object class, mine. Special containment procedures, no touch. Description, secure all, contain all, protect all, secure all, contain all, protect all, secure all, contain all, protect all. Huh. I see. I see. Reminds me of like Daffy Duck, like, it's mine! All mine! Mine, mine, mine! Oh, poof. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. I forgot to check chat. I'm sorry, lads. I'm sorry I didn't see you sooner. I'm sorry. I got so wrapped up. Oh, I feel really bad now. It's so easy to get wrapped up in reading all this stuff. I'm sorry. I suppose next... Oh goodness. An original photograph of the Hindenburg disaster. So, SCP-740, rating of 251. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-740 can be safely stored in its envelope in a security deposit box. Researchers testing SCP-740 must wear gloves at all times. Hang on a minute. Starting to think I need to replace a little bit of the tape on my headphones. Description: SCP-740 is a slightly dirty color-corrected Polaroid photograph depicting the May 6, 1937 explosion of the airship LZ-129 Hindenburg at Lakehurst Naval Air Station, New Jersey. The Polaroid has been determined to be a photograph taken of the original. SCP-740's anomalous traits manifest when it is viewed while in contact with the skin. The subject touching or holding the photo will hear the sounds of explosions and people screaming. Subjects report difficulty in taking their eyes off the photograph while under its influence. Subjects holding the object typically report their inability to freely release their grip as being very distressing. Many subjects have undergone emotional breakdowns as SCP-740's effects progress. After 1 minute of holding and looking at the photograph, the subject's body temperature will begin to rise, accompanied by a sensation of warmness. The intensity of the warmth, as well as the volume of the auditory hallucinations, will continue to increase so long as the subject looks at the photograph. Breaking eye contact will prevent the sensations from intensifying until eye contact is reestablished, and cessation of physical contact will cause the effect to reset to the initial stage should the object be handled again. The subject will begin to emit smoke after a period of time between 2 and 4 minutes and burst into flames shortly afterwards. Time of combustion is directly correlated to subject's size and weight. This flame will consume upwards of 90% of the subject's body mass and is proven fatal in all cases. The fire also consumes SCP-740, which will slowly restore itself to its original condition over the next 5 to 18 hours. See interview log 740-01 for information on recovery. Interviewed, Agent M-blank. Interviewer, Dr. E-blank. Forward. Standard interview conducted within 48 hours of SCP procurement. Agent M-blank has been employed by the Foundation for blank years and retrieved or secured blank SCPs in that time, of which the retrieval of SCP-740 was his 6th leading a retrieval team. In log, please state in your own words what happened during your recovery assignment. I was sent out to recover the skip, the photo, from the home of a Mr. A. blank F. blank. It came to our attention when Mr. F. blank tried unsuccessfully to sell it at auction, and I'd been keeping tabs on it for about 3 weeks prior. Interviewer: What prevented his selling it? The auctioneer spontaneously combusted. I mean, the official COD was a smoke inhalation, but that's what happened. I see. Please continue. Anyway, after Mr. F. blank recovered the photo, he started bringing in a bunch of people to look at it, trying to sell it again. By the time I visited his home, he was all but giving it away. And no one took it? When you hear what happened, you'll understand why. Agent sighs and pauses for 3.5 seconds. After I got authority to approach for the buy, I took a team out to the retrieval site. It was considered a low-risk retrieval, so they stayed out of sight back down his driveway while I knocked on his front door. He'd arranged the meeting for 1:45, and it was March blank 19 blank. He had a real nice place, huge New England mansion. He welcomed me in, gave me a seat, offered me some brandy, which I declined. He was real old, real thin and wrinkly, but really animated, talked with his hands a lot. How did the incident occur? Yeah, well, he made small talk for like 10 minutes until I asked about the photograph, and then he acted like he'd forgotten that's why I was there. He goes, gets it, brings it back in an envelope, and hands it to me. He hesitated, though, and gave me this weird look, like he was trying to read my mind or something. Anyway, I slid it out, and there it was, a Polaroid of the Hindenburg disaster. First thing I did was ask him how he managed to capture the explosion with a camera made decades after it happened, and he tells me it's a photo of a photo. And then I start hearing it. Hearing what? Explosions. Fire. People. Men, women, children, screaming in pain and terror. Agent pauses for 10 seconds. It was like I was just getting sucked into that photo. I couldn't look away. Then he leans forward, and that breaks my concentration, like I'd forgotten I could look up at all. He's giving me that look again, and he says, "You hear them too, don't you?" I said, "Yeah." Then he shakes his head like he's disappointed. "You're all the same, blast it." That's exactly what he said. Do you know what he meant by that? Yeah, he went on about how everyone he ever showed the photo to could hear things. I asked if he did too, and he said no. Then he reaches to take it back. This is when the incident occurred. He says, "No, son, it's deemed you unworthy. Give it here." And I told him in no strong words I was leaving with it. Even mentioned the briefcase and money I'd brought, but he wasn't having it. He goes, "I've watched men burn to death because they weren't worthy. Give it to me now." He lunges at me, knocks over my chair. Real strong for an old guy. Please continue. I didn't. There was no prior intel the guy would have skipped himself, or he'd have been coming back with me too. I'd have followed protocol, called in my team, but with the voices in my head, the photo I couldn't let go of, and there was fire coming out of his eyes and off his bald... I just panicked, okay? I've been doing this for years, but I just freaked the hell out. Drew my weapon and fired, 3 times? 4? The record indicates 3 shots. I don't remember. Anyway, I immediately called it in, grabbed the envelope, and left the house. I was also feeling really hot, even though it was pretty cold, March in New England and all. Is this when the house ignited? Pause for 5 seconds. Yeah. By the time I'm outside, there's smoke coming out the roof. Once my team shows up and pries my fingers off the skip, the whole thing's in flames. We had to stand way back. I couldn't help standing back. I didn't want to be anywhere near it. Pause for 3 seconds. Doc, I saw the forensics reports. You know what they said? What did they say? They placed the ignition point right where the old coot landed after I shot him. His body put the whole place up in 3 fucking minutes. Jesus. Thank you, Agent, that will be enough. Closing statement. Agent Mablank was remanded to psychiatric evaluation for 3 months to treat mental trauma and acute pyrophobia not previously noted in his psychological profile. After amnestics failed to cure the condition, Agent was reassigned to a clerical position. Well, that sucks.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty terrible.
And you know what else is terrible? The fact that I didn't notice Laz speaking to me earlier.
Ah!
Okay. I'm almost tempted to go with like a random GOI instead of like an SCP. Just to see what I'd get, you know? I'm not overly familiar with like every GOI in the SCP canon, loose as it is. GOI, for the record, means group of interest. We'll see. We'll see. Let's go with an SCP first. Oh boy. Oh boy. SCP-18J. Object class safe. With a rating of 156. Not too bad. Special containment procedures. SCP-18J can be kept in any standard containment locker. Individuals at the site containing SCP-18J, currently Site-41, should not be permitted access to secure facilities, classified information, motor vehicles, or alcohol solely on the basis of perceived adulthood. I know where this is going. Description: SCP-18J is a brown trench coat with no identifying labels or markings. When 2 or more individuals, aged 16 or younger, attempt to wear SCP-18J simultaneously, it will expand to accommodate all wearers such that they are hidden by the coat. This property has been confirmed to work for groups of up to 75 children. See Incident 18J-A. This effect does not extend to the collar, which does not change size and can only fit one head. While wearing SCP-18J in the described manner, all wearers gain increased strength, dexterity, and stamina, enabling them to move around in SCP-18J without risk of injury, fatigue, or falls. Intelligence, wisdom, and charisma remain unaffected. Still, some degree of cooperation remains necessary to perform activities, particularly with larger groups of children. SCP-18J exerts a cognitohazardous effect on direct observers, who will treat its wearers as a single adult human despite any evidence to the contrary. While they may find the wearer's appearance, gait, or size unusual, at no point will they suspect that SCP-18J contains children. The exact perceived age of the wearers varies, but is generally high enough that their age alone will not present an impediment to the task at hand. When SCP-18J is doffed, it reverts to its default size and shape, and all anomalous effects cause or cease immediately. Recovery: SCP-18J was recovered from Dubuque, Iowa, after the Foundation intercepted reports of a very large, misshapen adult wearing a trench coat at a local American Red Cross blood donation center. Oh no! The individual in question, later determined to be 9 small children, was attempting to donate blood, but staff were refusing to serve it due to concerns that its size, 3.1 meter tall, 2.1 meters wide, and shape, toroidal, were the result of a potentially contagious medical condition. An interview with the children involved found that they had become inspired to donate blood by an informational pamphlet and had more or less willed SCP-18J into existence shortly thereafter to fulfill this purpose. Claims that this explanation is unsatisfactory or implausible are unfounded. Incident 18J-A. On July 16th, 2016, Dr. Quinn submitted a request to test SCP-18J with a very large group of children, with the stated intention of, this kind of thing is practically an inevitability because of the narrative constraints on SCPs. Seriously, they're predictable as hell once you've read enough, so we might as well get it over with. The request was granted, and on July 18th, 2016, 75 D-Class personnel, primarily but not exclusively war orphans, between the ages of 6 and 10 were procured and secured in a room with SCP-18J. Colloquially known as warfins? Oh no! Oh no! The first 23 minutes of the test consisted primarily of the subjects expressing distress and making sporadic requests for medicine, their parents, sunlight, etc. At 23 minutes 19 seconds, D-7145, codenamed Tricky Trickster, donned SCP-18J. The other subjects, perceiving him to be an adult, deduced that SCP-18J was a magical coat that turned the wearer into an adult, and attempted to procure it for themselves. Magical coat, essentially accurate, that turned the wearer into an adult. Factually inaccurate. Following this, for the sake of brevity, no data was recorded and no observations were made for about 20 minutes. This incident report is estimated to be 40% shorter because of this decision. At 45 minutes 55 seconds, the testing chamber was breached by all test subjects who were wearing SCP-18J in a fashion comparable to a very tall adult humanoid with D-7145 at the helm. The collective began assaulting nearby personnel, presumably in retaliation for miscellaneous crimes against humanity perpetrated against them by the Foundation. Mobile Task Force Xi-9 orphan wranglers, who were stationed at Site-45 for unrelated reasons, were immediately deployed to counter the threat. However, they failed to recognize the presence of orphans within SCP-18J and were crushed by the group's fists. 2 D-class personnel in fetal positions. God damn. While conferring with command to confirm their orders. After all personnel in SCP-18J's immediate vicinity were either dispelled or motionless, the D-class personnel proceeded to follow signs leading to Site-41's emergency exit. As Site-41 is located beneath an orphanage, it was feared that a breach would expose additional children to SCP-18J, resulting in an apocalyptic chain reaction wherein SCP-18J would envelop a critical mass of children. No designation for this K-class scenario has been created, as all qualified personnel have more important responsibilities. Site security, unable to stop SCP-18J via normal means, instead altered and or moved signs leading to exits such that the D-class personnel will be redirected to Site-41's movie theater. A screening of The Passion of the Christ 2004 was hastily arranged, and as expected, the D-class personnel were distracted from their escape by the prospect of viewing an R-rated movie. Personnel attending to the theater allowed the subjects to procure a ticket and assisted it in entering the theater, which was just barely large enough to contain SCP-18J. Shortly after the subjects entered the theater, all lights were dimmed and the theater's thermostat was adjusted to 29 degrees Celsius or 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Within 4 minutes, most subjects expressed discomfort with the temperature, and believing that the low lighting would enable them to avoid suspicion, cooperated to doff SCP-18J. As expected, SCP-18J immediately reverted to its normal size, and the D-class personnel fell out of their prior configuration. Security personnel were then able to enter and seize SCP-18J and the subjects. The former was returned to containment, while the latter were probably fed to monsters or something. This test did not provide any data that could improve SCP-18J's containment and did not shed any particular light on the nature of its anomalous properties, while causing significant damage to Site-41 and its inhabitants. Dr. Quinn was consequently reassigned to theater duty. Amazing. Just a case of Vincent Adult Man. Oh, wait. Wait, we were gonna look at a GOI. How long is this one? SCP-898. Nah. Random GOI. Let's peer a little bit into the lore. A cosmic cycle. Internal Office Memorandum, Arcadia, to Clark Wilson from Sebastian Brown, Chief Archivist. Subject Project Cosmos. Date October 3rd, 2003. Clark, I've attached the files and excerpts you requested below. It isn't a lot, but given the amount of time I had, I'd say it's enough to get a good glimpse at the cosmos for whatever it is you're doing. I've attached some notes of mine to the electronic version of the documents, but some of them are missing from this set. If you have any problems, you know how to contact me. P.S. You like the way the old memos look? I managed to get a hold of one, and I'm trying to convince people they're still usable. I also put some footnotes in case you need a little background info. Call me later and we can talk about it some. This is an advertisement for the Cosmos I found in the marketing section. Seb. The Arcadia Cosmos delivers greater than arcade quality entertainment right within your living room, featuring state-of-the-art holographic technology. the Arcadia Cosmos truly is the most revolutionary system to date. Arcade hits such as Missile Command, Space Invaders, and the classic video tennis utilize the Arcadian projector, patent pending, to transform your living room into a play area unlike any other. No other system can come even close to Arcadian quality. This Christmas, look around at your local retail stores for the brand new Arcadia Cosmos. Arcadia, unlock the cosmos.
Before I continue, I will take my Medimeds.
Sometimes they're a little tricky to get out of the bottles. And they're all slippery. Wait a second. Huh. That's something I'm gonna have to ask about. Da, 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 da. Okay. To Mr. Alan Alcorn. You probably met or heard of this guy. He made Pong back in the day. He was one of the big shots at Atari when he was starting. He worked on the Cosmos at Atari for a bit before he left. Some issues with Warner, if I recall. I didn't actually know we kept in contact with him. Worth checking him out if you have time. From Arcadia Incorporated. Unsure if we still go by Incorporated or if we use a different name. I'll ask Jenna sometime later, she probably knows. Date January 2nd, 1982. Dear Mr. Alcorn, we at Arcadia are saddened to hear about the recent termination of your employment at Atari Incorporated and wish to express our sincere condolences for this unfortunate event. It is always hard to see someone we admire and respect greatly to be mistreated. We are proud of our commitment to making our business a family endeavor. All of Arcadia works in tandem like a family to deliver quality entertainment and innovative technology to the masses. Arcadia is dedicated to our employees. We offer numerous benefits to our hard workers and guarantee employee satisfaction. Following a review of your employment history, medical records, legal documents, affiliation with competitors, family relations, and financial history, we have decided to contact you with the hopes of requesting that you meet with us on January 9th, 1982, this coming Saturday, to discuss the potential for your employment as a member of Arcadia's ever-growing family. Please contact us via phone to confirm your attendance. We hope to see you there, Arcadia. Recorded transcript. 1-1? Like 1-January 13th, 1982, ALC. Forward. Transcript of a conversation between Alan Alcorn and Carl Franklin concerning Project Cosmos. Carl Franklin, engineer at Arcadia from 1978 to 1991, one of the few folks from the engineering division who managed to stay on so long. Probably met him at some point, but I don't recall. A few days prior, Mr. Alcorn had been hired to work at Arcadia. The following has been taken from a company tape recorder provided for archival purposes. Begin log. So yeah, if you don't mind, I just set up this tape recorder. Some people have been interested in preserving Arcadia's history, so to speak. Yeah, that's fine, I don't mind. Alright then. Well, first order of business, welcome to Arcadia. I'm Carl. I work in engineering. I've been told that this is what you are most familiar with, yes? Yes, I did engineering for Atari from 72 until last year. Yes, Atari. Now, I've been told that during your time where you were working on, or during your time there, you were working on something big, yes? Something to do with illusions? Holographs. We had a console ready to go, Cosmos, but Kasser got cold feet at the last second. It's a pretty impressive system. It's a shame he shelved it. Ray Kasser, CEO of Atari Incorporated when it was owned by Warner. That would be 1978 to 1984. Alright, well, I am happy to say that a few of us here took quite a bit of interest in your work, and because of that marketing has agreed to allow us to work on an improved version of the concept. Isn't that exciting? Really? Wow, I mean, gee, that's great. When do we start? Of course, we have to deal with some of the legalities first, but at this rate, I'd probably say April. There's other stuff for you to do until then, of course, so don't worry. Irrelevant text removed. Alright, well, it's been a pleasure meeting you, Carl. I can't wait to start working with you and the rest of the team. The pleasure's all mine now. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Internal Office Memorandum to the Arcadia Cosmos Development Team from Daniel Dunn, President and CEO of Arcadia Incorporated. Subject to congratulations! On April 28th, 82. Dunn left in 86, if I recall. Met the guy a few times, I think around 93 or 94, but I don't remember. He always wore that damn orange tie of his. Congratulations to the Cosmos development team for starting work on Arcadia's next product. This is just the start of a long journey towards Arcadia's next hit in the amazing video entertainment industry. I have full confidence that you will all deliver a quality product the likes of which have never been seen before. We all know you will be doing great things for our family and cannot wait for what the future brings. Sincerely, Daniel Dunn. Arcadia Cosmos Dev Report. December 11th, 82. History of development of the product. Development of the product began in April 1982, following the assignment of Mr. Alan Alcorn to a small team previously engaged in the development of coin-op machines. Work proceeded smoothly throughout the following months. Please see the attached memorandums for further information on development during this period. A finalized design was agreed upon in August of the same year, although protests from Mr. Alcorn significantly hindered progress on this decision. Development of the hardware for the system began in November of this year and is currently underway. Finalized decisions on hardware. Following an internal discussion by the Cosmos development team, a final decision on the hardware of the system was made. It was determined that the initial design of the Cosmos that Mr. Alcorn had brought to our attention could be significantly improved if major changes were made. Mr. Theodore Wilkins left Arcadia in 89, left a note on his desk, and just stopped showing up to work. I met him a few times when I got here in 88. Who previously was working on the Arcadian projector, see Section 3, recommended that Mr. Alcorn contact the appropriate office to request the use of the projector in the Cosmos. I've never heard of any projector. If I had to guess, I'd assume it was another one of the crazy ideas cooked up by the R&D teams. A request was filed with the appropriate office and has since been granted. It was determined that instead of creating the illusion of a three-dimensional image through the use of holographic technology, the Arcadian projector is able to be used to project multiple three-dimensional images into a three-dimensional space, such as a small room. The development team has since set out to discover how to best utilize the device in a way that allows for interactive entertainment in a small living room. Arcadian projector. The Arcadian projector is a miniaturized projector which can project two-dimensional images into a three-dimensional space as three-dimensional objects. Through the use of the BMCC, See the BMCCNU and Arcadian Guide to Connections with Hell for more information. What? BMCC, the Bushnell Motion Circuit Connector, some kind of conduit to the underworld. Arcadian Guide to Connections with Hell. An apt name. I remember being given this book in '93 as a birthday gift. It's pretty funny. Definitely feels like something Nolan would have been involved in. The projector is able to utilize K particles to product. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be produce this effect. K particles, or as I like to call it, hell energy, is just fancy talk for energy extracted from hell. Cool in concept, boring in reality. Reports of interference by entities not approved by Arcadia are currently being investigated, and the relevant reports can be requested from the appropriate department. Recorded transcript. 87 February 23, 1983 ALC. Forward. The following is a transcript of a telephone call between two Arcadia employees, Jonathan Edwards and James Walton. Edwards. John was the one who introduced me to Arcadia back around 87 or so. He knew I needed a job and hooked me up with the right folks. Nice man. Unfortunately, he passed away last year. And James Walton. James is a funny fella. He still works here, but he's talked about retiring as of late. If you want to speak with him, just email me later and I'll hook you up. Begin log. Hello? Who's this? Ed, it's me, Jim. Listen, hold on just a moment. Sorry about that. Just a momentary interruption.
Jay, thank you for
The trifecta of health.
I will
Stretch! Ah! Ooh, that felt good.
now hydrate.
And I'm sitting straighter than I myself could ever be. Okay. I hardly got into it, so I'll just start over. Hello? Who's this? Ed, it's me, Jim. Listen, What? Hold on. It's 2 in the morning. What the hell are you doing? I need your help, Ed. I got this issue here. Yeah? So, I'm having some issues with the Cosmos. I'm trying to do stuff for the Centipede game. Right? All of a sudden, I see a damn centipede fly out of the machine I'm trying to work with. Okay, what do you want me to do about it? Go call Alcorn at 2 in the morning on a Saturday? Go to bed, Jim. Listen, you gotta listen to me here, Ed. I'm trying to do a simple thing. Just trying to get the console to project the right images and the right location. Either you help me, or I have to be the one to tell Alcorn we're gonna need another week extension. Fine, hold me over in a bit. Dan, we're having trouble with development of the Cosmos. Tons of bugs have popped up. And with all this new hardware and weird tech you have us working with, I have no idea how to properly address these issues. We're a small team, and you only gave me a few people to work with here. We desperately need more resources and people. Wilkins quit last week, and he knew more about this paranormal stuff than any of us do. Wilkins did mention to me he left in '84 due to personal issues. He came back in '85 with the whole rebranding thing. I mean, you have us working with hardware and technology most people here have never even heard of, much less worked with. If you really want us to finish this, you're gonna have to give us more resources here, Alcorn. Notice to all retailers to store management from Arcadia, subject Cosmos delivery, December 19th, 1983. Due to unforeseen circumstances, deliveries of the Arcadia Cosmos system have been indefinitely postponed. We sincerely apologize for the delay and wish to extend our gratitude for the patience displayed by our wonderful retail partners. In the meantime, deliveries of other products shall continue on schedule with minimal to no delay. Any questions regarding Arcadia products, deliveries, or concerns should be delivered to the appropriate office. For further information, please contact us by phone or mail. Thank you, Arcadia. Recorded transcript 53, May 6, 1984, ALC. The following is a transcript of a recorded conversation between Alan Alcorn and Jonathan Edwards. In log, the sound of people walking and typing can be heard. Hey Al, I think you should look at this. Alcorn is heard sighing, then standing up and moving slowly across the room. What is it, Ed? Another bug? Another call from your damn demon friend? Don't speak to me like that, Al. I've got it hard enough without having to listen to your shit. My shit? My shit? You think I wanted this? You think I wanted to build something like this? Do you honestly think that I wanted any part of this? I haven't slept in months, Alan. You aren't the only one suffering here. I poured my time, blood, sweat, and tears into this project. I'd like to get it done. Please. There's a 15-second pause. The BMCC isn't working right. The Cosmos is using up more power than it should. It's acting like it needs to power something huge, but we don't need that much power. It's overloading the system, Alan, and I cannot finish the games by the end of the year if we do not get this fixed. I have no idea how to fix it. Well, we need to figure it out if you want this to release. I've done just about everything I can to get this working. This isn't some issue we've had for a while, this is a new issue. Either the BMCCs are faulty entirely, or someone has tampered with the console. Are you serious? Alan, you're telling me that this is a new issue? That this has not popped up before? That the centipedes falling out of the machine, the damn rocks flying out of the projector like a bullet are all unrelated? You're telling me we have no goddamn clue why this is happening? Alan, please don't tell me to calm down. I'm gonna see Dunn. The sound of a door slamming can be heard. Video transcript 54, same day. Forward, the following is a transcript of a filmed conversation between Daniel Dunn and Alan Alcorn. Dunn, Alcorn, how are you? Would you like some coffee? I'm fine. Dunn, we need to talk. About what? About what? The Cosmos. It's not working. We can't get anything done. We cannot get it done by Christmas with the amount of materials you've given us. Al, you said... I know what I said. I was wrong. We cannot get it done. Dan, I can't do this anymore. I've been unable to sleep. I feel like something is watching me all the time. The damn machine breaks almost every day at this point. All this demonic shit you've got us working with is hurting us, Dan. Everything should be working. The BMCC has been thoroughly tested and is used in numerous other products. It isn't working. Whatever the hell you have us working with is producing more energy than is necessary. It is overloading the system, and God knows what else it's doing. Here, let me show you something. A thudding sound can be heard as Alcorn drops the Arcadia Cosmos on the table. This is the Cosmos. This is the one you have us building right now. This is what consumers will see come year's end. Alcorn stands up and turns the room's lights off before turning the system on. Overhead, the Arcadia logo is projected, situated just above Alcorn and Dunn. After a few moments, it flickers and completely fades away. What is your point, Alan? What are you Dunn is cut off as the Arcadia logo appears again, glowing, instead of the previous blue, a blood red color. This is what you had me working with, Dunn. I didn't want this. I wanted to make Cosmos better. I wanted to finish Cosmos. You brought all this satanic bullshit into it. People died because of this, Dunn. We could have had Cosmos released 2 years ago, but you pushed for something bigger, something grander. Every decision I make is for the good of Arcadia as a company, and as a family. Really? Is the cocaine for the good of the company, Dan? Is the constant drug parties, satanic rituals, demonic sacrifices, all of that is for the good of us? That's bullshit, Dan. I spent over a decade at Atari. I know how this works. I know how this game is played. I can't do this anymore. There's a 30-second pause. What do you want? I want creative freedom over my own projects. I want to be able to make the cosmos how it was intended, without the demons, without the cocaine, without the bugs and the damn projector. I want to be able to have fun with my work again, Dunn. I want permission to scrap the cosmos as it is and return to the old design and finish it up. Alan, you know I can't do that. You've been working for so long and you've gotten so far. Do you really want to end it here? I can't get it done by the end of the year. If I keep working on this, more people are going to get hurt and we will continue to push back the date. Alan, you're part of this family. I care about you, as I do with everyone in this company. Arcadia is a family, and like all families, we have our disagreements. We have our bad times, we all have issues. But as the head of this family, and as a friend, I'm afraid it is my responsibility to ask that you continue on with your work. I will try my best to give you more help. Alcorn slams his hands on the desk. I don't want help! I want to finish my project. I want to finish my job. I've had enough of this company, of this family. I'm sick and tired of the constant ignorance of the problems people here have. I've done everything I can. If you aren't going to listen to me, then I can't be here anymore. You wish to quit? Yes. I want to resign. Al, I'm your friend. I'm here for you. I'm quitting. That is final. You will not listen, and I cannot continue to work in this environment. There's a 30-second pause. Alright. I'm sorry to hear this, Al. I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. You have any other requests? Please cancel the Cosmos. Don't release that to the public. It isn't safe. Al, you've worked so hard. Please. Alright. The Cosmos will be shelved. Your final paycheck will be delivered to you via mail. Don't bother. Give it to Ed. Tell him I'm sorry. Alcorn stands up and begins to leave. The door opens and Alcorn exits the room. The Arcadia logo begins to fade away. Dunn is seen with his head in his hands. My dear friend Alan, it is always unfortunate when a member of our family is unable to achieve his dreams, when a truly visionary idea is unable to pass the rigors of development. It is quite sad, truly, to hear that a beloved member of the Arcadian family must go his own way. Life, however, continues, and I write to you today with a request from a friend. I have something to show you, Alan. You know where to find me. Your friend, Nolan Bushnell. Bushnell shouldn't have been involved at all with Arcadia at this point. This was 84, so it's possible he's just saying shit to get Alcorn to meet with him. Okay. That was pretty neat. Pretty dang nifty. And hello, Bomb and Stimung. I am doing pretty well. All things considered. Started off kind of... started stream pretty loopy, because... like, I woke up about an hour before I had to get stream ready. But so far we're having fun. There's no complaints. None that I can see. Alright, so that was a random GOI. Let's get back to random SCPs. with a rating of 42. It's not unexpected, it seems to be relatively recent. SCP-5244. Containment class Euclid, disruption class Vlam, whatever that means. Risk class Caution. Special containment procedures crossed out. SCP-5244 is contained in a standard humanoid containment cell at Site-63. Any objects created by SCP-5244-1 or SCP-5244-1 events are to be removed from the cell and placed in storage to await testing. SCP-52... In place of it, SCP-5244 is currently in the custody of GOI 667. As of writing, the priority of recovery is minimal. Any information regarding SCP-5244-A is to be forwarded to Dr. Watts. Description: SCP-5244 is a 23-year-old male human, previously known as Benjamin Matthews. SCP-5244's anomalous properties are referred to as SCP-5244-1 events, which occur around SCP-5244 seemingly at random. According to SCP-5244, SCP-5244-1 events are always preceded by an unidentified voice audible only to SCP-5244, often requesting some sort of gift, usually in the form of luck or guidance. Less frequently, the message will thank SCP-5244 for answering one of the previous requests. To date, SCP-5244 has been unable to fulfill any of these requests. Shortly after the message is received, a small burst of flame will appear in the immediate area surrounding SCP-5244, followed by an item. Some examples of items received have been compiled below. An orange fruit similar in appearance to a pineapple. Testing determined that the fruit contained a lethal dose of capsaicin, the active ingredient in chili peppers. Woof. A plastic bag of hallucinogenic mushrooms, the severed head of an unidentified animal with bovine features and antlers similar to those of a moose, a Big Mac burger from the restaurant chain McDonald's, and 3 exsanguinated Canadian geese. Drained of blood, yeah. Full list of items received is available on request. Addendum 1. The following interview was conducted between SCP-5244 and Dr. Watts shortly after initial containment. Begin log. Good morning, SCP-5244. How have you been adjusting to your new life? Honestly, it's not that bad. The cell is bigger than my apartment, and I don't have to worry about rent anymore. That's good to hear. Have there been any changes to the SCP-5244-1 events? No, same old thing. Someone asks me to help them pass a test or something, and I get some weird fruit or dead animal. It's getting annoying, especially when it happens at 3 in the morning. We're working on it, I promise. We'll find out what's causing this sooner or later. Thanks for the help. I guess I should consider myself lucky that I'm even getting let out of the box from time to time. Don't worry about it. We do our best to understand all the anomalies we have in containment. That's how we keep the world safe. It means a lot. SCP-5244 grunts and clutches its head in pain. Oh dear, are you alright? Yeah, just the voices again. Dear Ben, please accept my sacrifice and grant me your aid by smiting my ex's lawyer. At this moment, another SCP-5244-1 event occurred and the interview was cancelled. The item received appeared to be a power cable manufactured by the Apple Company. Incident February 18th, 2021. On February 18th, 2021, at 19:06, SCP-5244 began to scream in pain while clutching its head. Seconds later, a flame much larger than previous events manifested in the cell, and approximately 30 unidentified human entities entered the room. The entities had red skin, large deer antlers protruding from their foreheads, and compound eyes resembling those of a housefly. They carried SCP-5244 back into the fire and vanished. 5 days later, a call was made to the Sheriff's Department in Jacksonville, Florida. An undercover Foundation agent recognized the caller as SCP-5244, and the call was transferred to Site-63. Hello? Is this the Foundation? It's me, Watts. Oh god, finally. I've been trying to call for days, but you guys aren't exactly easy to find. Where are you? I'm in a phone booth. I don't know where. It's hot. There's a giant crocodile in the street. The sky is orange. Orange? I'm gonna check for places with an orange sky. There's also a church. That's where they took me when we got here. You mean the creatures that attacked the site? Yeah, them. They picked me up, walked me through a fire portal, and dumped me in a church. The weirdest thing, there's a statue of me in the middle of the room. What? It's big, and there's a bunch of stuff on the ground around it. Mostly jars of ashes and pictures of red people, but there are also some flowers. I was hoping you guys might be able to figure that one out. That doesn't sound familiar, no. We'll look into it. Good. Just let me know what information you'll need to get me out of here. Okay. What about the things that took you? Did they do anything else to you after you arrived? They just dropped me by the altar and stared at me for a while. Then they all kneeled and started bringing me stuff. Like the same things I was getting before, just hand-delivered. Did any of them tell you why they were doing this? Not really. Some of them thanked me for things I didn't do, like curing their sick friends, getting them promotions at work, or offing their rivals. And how did you escape? I wouldn't call it an escape. They didn't lock me up or anything. I just walked out the door after they all left. Not like it did much good for me, since I don't know where the hell I am. I've left a few times, but one of them always manages to find me. Then they bring me back and give me even more junk while they apologize for not giving me enough before. They just don't get that I don't want their weird monster food. So then you called us for rescue. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. You wouldn't happen to have any way to get me out of here? Not right now, but I promise we'll look into it. We're not just gonna leave you here. Thanks, Watts, you're a real— Shit! Excuse me? They found me. I'll try and call you back tomorrow. The following day, a second call was received from the same location. The caller claimed to be one of the entities that had captured SCP-5244. The entity negotiated an agreement with the Foundation on the terms that SCP-5244 would remain in the custody of the entities responsible for its capture, and the Foundation would be allowed contact with SCP-5244 for research purposes. For its capture, now known as GOI 667, yeah. The secure location was selected to allow Foundation staff to send and receive items to and from SCP-5244 through GOI 667 personnel. An arrangement was made for SCP-5244 to record a video of interactions with GOI 667 daily and send them to Site-63 for review. The first log has been transcribed below. You guys managed to get through. How'd you do it? Oh, it wasn't too hard. They were very polite about it. Their only condition was— well, never mind all that. How have you been holding up? I'm okay. They're still bringing me stuff and asking me for things. Just yesterday, one of them started crying because it thought I jinxed its parole hearing. It's getting harder to keep these guys happy. Interesting. Do you think you did anything to cause that outburst? I already told you, I can't do anything from here. These guys seem to think I've got some crazy magic, but I'm just a guy. You need to find a way to bring me back. I'm starting to think I wasn't the first person to end up down here. I overheard some of them talking about some lord being more helpful before it changed form. Changed form? I wonder what will happen when they grow tired of you. What? I thought the plan was to get me out of here before they got the chance. Well, that's not an option right now, so you're gonna have to sit tight a little longer. So that's it? You're just leaving me here for good? I thought you wanted to study anomalies or whatever it is you called me. We do want to study you, and we've learned far more in the past 3 days than in the whole month you were in our custody. At this point, SCP-5244 terminated the call. Incident February 28, 2021. On February 28, 2021, at 1347, a previously unseen entity entered GOI 667's church and began to converse with SCP-5244. This entity, designated SCP-5244-A, is vaguely humanoid with green skin and small mouths in place of eyes. SCP-5244-A has multiple small feathered wings sprouting from various places on its torso. A transcript of the interaction is recorded below. Oh, you're still here? It's not like I can leave these zealots or have anything to go back to. But enough about me. What do you want? A bountiful harvest? A cure for cancer? No. You have no real power here. I'm just here to grab lunch while I'm in town. These nutcases wouldn't know wholly if it bitten them in the ass, but they can cook a mean poverty stew. You mean the stuff they give to the shelter downtown? I tried some. It tasted like sweat and regret. SCP-5244-A moves to a pot of what appears to be unset concrete and proceeds to drink half the pot using all of its mouths. The entity then walks back to the door, hesitates, and turns to face SCP-5244. I'm really sorry about all this. It's not like it's your fault. I made a mistake. I never intended for this harm to come to anyone. SCP-5244-A's topmost mouths begin to salivate. My only goal was to get these cultist nutcases off my back. What? I was going through a difficult time, mostly because of all the sacrifices and prayers they were sending me. I was confused and I felt the need to escape, so I dumped all my problems on some random mortal loser. Are you talking about me? Maybe. The point is, I am truly, deeply sorry for any harm my actions may have caused, and I hope we can come to an understanding someday. Hold on. You're saying that you caused all of this? You're the reason I'm stuck here? Yes, and I'm sorry for that. SCP-5244 stands in silence for a moment and then clears its throat. Anyways, I should be going now. Good luck with your religion. SCP-5244-A exits the building. SCP-5244 follows it out, and the two continue to walk through a small town outside the church. Seriously? That's it? You're just gonna leave me here too? I already did once before. But don't worry, it could be a lot worse. What could be worse than being stuck here with no hope of seeing anything other than this hellscape again? I could be stuck here with no hope of escape. But that's seriously the best you can do? Hey, I said I was sorry. What more do you want? At this point, SCP-5244-A walks into an office building and closes the door behind it. SCP-5244 attempts to follow it, but the door is locked. 3 days later, SCP-5244-A was seen by a memetic-resistant Foundation staff member in a crowded food court in Vatican City, speaking on the phone to an unknown individual. Civilians in the area did not seem to acknowledge SCP-5244-A's inhuman appearance. A transcript of the call has been recorded below. Yeah, I'm almost done. Just taking a little break before I leave the planet. Of course, I stopped by the old church. That was the whole reason I came out here. Yes, Mom, I told him I was sorry. You know how I am with apologies. I'm sure he got the message. Alright, see you soon. Following this, SCP-5244-A flew upwards through the ceiling, causing immense damage to the surroundings. SCP-5244-A has not been seen since. Okay, I fucking love this concept, though. Like, the basic concept is like, you know, you know, usually when it comes to, like, demonic rituals and stuff, like, you know, usually it's people that are summoning demons with actual powers to do, you know, whatnot in exchange for, like, their soul or something. You know, eternal damnation. And then you got this, which is the complete inverse. Like, it's demons that are worshipping a regular-ass average Joe. And, like, considering him, like, totally responsible for all of the blessings or curses that they, you know, that they claim to experience in their daily lives. Like, that's amazing. That's so interesting. So, like, if people conduct, like, demonic rituals to summon demons, did these, like, demons sort of people, like, conduct, like, a humanist ritual to get into contact with a human? I don't know. I think that's really cool. I like this one. What next? I mean, a random SCP, of course. I'm just kind of eyeballing, the amount of time I've streamed so far, and usually I don't think these SCP reading streams tend to go on for too long. Not that I can recall. I suppose it depends on the articles we read. Anyway, with a rating of 66. Not bad. SCP-3516. Object Class Safe. SCP-3516 is to be kept in a locked box at Site-77. When not in use for testing, both wheels of SCP-3516 are to be locked using a standard bike lock. When using SCP-3516, no protective equipment is to be issued to the writer. Testing of SCP-3516 may only be done outdoors and may not come within 50 meters of any essential mechanisms of the site. Observers are required to stand behind a screen of protective glass at all times when testing SCP-3516. Riders of SCP-3516 are to be equipped with a metal rod to jam between the spokes of the front wheel, in the likelihood of superficial injuries occurring. At least one medical personnel must be present for every test. God damn it, is this just that one meme? Description. SCP-3516 is a red bicycle, specifically the 1982 Schwinn Predator model. Flame symbols are crudely painted alongside the body of the bicycle in acrylic paint. 2 spokes on the front wheel are bent and 5 on the back wheel. The entire bicycle shows signs of age and wear, but still functions normally. When any human subject begins to ride SCP-3516, the anomalous abilities of SCP-3516 will activate. Regardless of current situation or speed, the subject will experience feelings of excitement and increased levels of adrenaline, similar to those experienced when on a roller coaster or other method of thrill-based entertainment. The subject will also become increasingly accident-prone as time goes on, with an estimated additional 8% chance of falling off of or crashing SCP-3516 for every minute passed. 90% of subjects are observed to have an accident within 10 minutes of beginning to ride SCP-3516. It should be noted that regardless of the severity of the crash, SCP-3516 will show either minimal damage or no damage. Experimentation has proven that it may be damaged outside of crashes. Once the subject has fallen off of or otherwise crashed SCP-3516, SCP-3516's secondary ability will manifest. The severity of damage caused to the surroundings of SCP-3516, which may or may not include the rider, will be far greater than what is normally possible from the impact, with collision speeds as low as 30 kilometers per hour, releasing upwards of 22,000 newtons. Impacted objects will also show decreased stability, breaking under forces that they would normally withstand. The final aspect of SCP-3516's anomalous abilities concern any injuries sustained by the rider over the course of the crash. The severity of the injuries, including those extrapolated upon by the secondary ability of SCP-3516, is effectively inverted. Wounds that would normally be life-threatening or fatal will instead seem to have no effect on the subject's health and may be easily recuperated from. Small or minor wounds, however, will prove to be devastating, with a skinned knee being sufficient to knock the subject unconscious and taking weeks of intense care to heal. If a subject managed to sustain no injuries over the course of the crash, no anomalous abilities will activate. Testing log. Test 12, subjects D-10334, Experiment Director Dr. Sombre. Sombre? Procedure. D-10334 is equipped with a bicycle helmet and is instructed to ride SCP-3516 into a concrete wall. Observed impact speed is 28 kilometers per hour. Experiment is overviewed by Dr. Sombra. Results. The front tire of SCP-3516 lodges 13 centimeters deep into the wall, and SCP-10334 is bucked headfirst over the handlebars and into the wall, where the helmet splits in two, and D-10334 shatters 2 vertebrae, suffers several skull fractures, and a ruptured trachea. After 8 seconds, subject stands up and complains of dizziness. Full recovery is made in 20 hours after subject is issued a single bandage and a mild painkiller. Test 17. Subjects D-12708. Experiment Director Researcher Passarelli. Procedure. D-12708 is instructed to ride SCP-3516 off of an 8-meter drop onto a concrete surface. D-12708 is not issued any protective equipment, as doing so has proven futile. Results. Upon impact, SCP-3516 bounces roughly 20 meters and injures researcher Passarelli, dislodging D-12708 in the process. The left arm and leg of D-12708 are dislocated upon impact, and 2 toes are broken. D-12708 reports reduced feelings of discomfort and pain while injured and during the relocation process. Broken toes heal over the course of 4 days. Notes: I'm making changes to containment procedures. One of the pedals knocked out 3 of my teeth. Researcher Passarelli. Test 20. Subjects D-10980 and Agent Blank. Experiment Director Dr. Blank. Procedure. D-10880 or 10980 is instructed to ride SCP-3516 in a straight line. As she is doing so, Agent Blank is to shoot D-10980 in the leg with a sniper rifle. Results. D-10980 is successfully shot and falls off of SCP-3516. The injuries sustained from the crash are easily treated, but the gunshot wound shows no anomalous properties. Notes: this confirms that SCP-3516's effects only apply to the injuries sustained in the crash, or at least those caused by riding it. Shame, otherwise we could have potentially used it to facilitate healing by purposely injuring prior patients, as stupid as that sounds. Test 21. Subjects D-239. I know it's 200 and then 39, but it's easier to say that way. Experiment Director Dr. Blank. Procedure. D-239 is instructed to ride SCP-3516 in a straight line. While doing this, they will pass over several buried high-yield landmines. D-239 has not been informed of the landmines. Results. The landmines are successfully detonated. SCP-3516 is not damaged aside from slight degradation of the paint, and D-239 is blown into multiple pieces. However, each individual piece of D-239 did not die, and were able to be surgically joined together again. Afterwards, D-239 did not show any lingering anomalous abilities. Notes. That was gruesome, but easily the most impressive demonstration of SCP-3516's abilities to date. There may not be an upper limit to the level of damage it can invert, as long as SCP-3516 is mostly responsible for causing it. Even the portions of D-239's body we couldn't recover regenerated once the rest were assembled. Test 28. D-10802. Experiment Director Researcher Blank. Procedure. D-10802 is to ride SCP-3516 past a pricker bush. Results. As D-10802 bikes past, a single thorn grazes his leg, leaving a small scratch. D-10802 immediately expires! That is hilarious. Oh, I love that. That's great. Autopsy reveals the cause of death as simultaneous cessation of all bodily functions. Notes. And here we see the opposite end of the spectrum. Researcher Blank. Test 33. Subject D-165. Experiment Director Researcher Blank. Procedure. D-165 while riding SCP-3516 is dropped out of... Procedure. SCP-165 while riding SCP-3516 is dropped out of an airplane at blank kilometers. Results data expunged. Notes, Jesus Christ. Oh, God, that's fucking amazing. I'm fucking dying. SCP, or recovery, SCP-3516 was brought to the Foundation's attention and subsequently recovered on April 15, 2002, when a terrorist thought to be operating alongside Redacted rode SCP-3516 into the middle of a freeway, resulting in blank casualties and blank fatalities. While this normally would not have been enough to warrant further investigation, eyewitness reports of a man reattaching several severed limbs before biking out of the crater caused by a gas tanker exploding, seemingly perfectly unharmed. Field agents gave pursuit following the trail of destruction caused by SCP-3516's effects. And SCP-3516 was eventually secured when the rider suffered a slight scrape from a pebble, being kicked up towards a face with the tires, and subsequently expired. Class C amnestics were issued to aid in cover-up, and the damage was explained to have been caused by a string of terrorist bombings. This is immediately one of my favorites. That's fucking hilarious. I love it. Oh my god. SCP-3516. Oh my god. We're on a roll with just fucking hilarious articles. It's so strange to think that so far this is probably the funniest stream I've ever done. And I'm not even the one making the humor. Depressing as that is. But oh my god. Oh my god. When I send this VOD over to my YouTube archive channel, I'm tempted just to like my own video just so I can come back to it and laugh all over again. Oh, that's amazing. How am I on time? About 2.5 hours. This would be a strong way to end off. I don't know. I think I got it. I think I got one more at least left in me. Let's go. Ooh, this is one of the ones in the most recent generation. To Cindy Gian from Salvador Marcos. Subject, update to SCP-6147. Hey, I know you're still suspended, but I just wanted to let you know that they approved it. I know you won't get any credit for the proposal, but thanks to you, a lot of people are going to get the opportunity they never would have had otherwise. I also wanted to message you because I realized I never actually offered my condolences for what happened. I was too caught up in the moment and focusing on all the wrong things. Just let me know if there is anything I can do. Rating at 35, that's pretty solid. Pretty solid for a very new one. So, SCP-6147, Containment Class Esoteric, Secondary Class Thaumiel, Disruption Class Dark, Risk Class Notice. Me oh my. So, just as a refresher, Thaumiel is basically a class for SCPs that are used in containing other SCPs. Special containment procedures. Access to the instructions for SCP-6147 is restricted to personnel with Level 4 6147 clearance. Under no circumstances should SCP-6147 be performed without the supervision of a qualified member of the Department of Applied Thaumaturgy. The use of SCP-6147 in standard Foundation operations has been approved. All personnel who wish to use SCP-6147 for an ongoing operation must submit a request form to the appropriate Ethics Committee Board. The Subcommittee on Proper Usage of SCP-6147. Requests will be reviewed to determine if the suggested usage of SCP-6147 will in some way further the Foundation's mission, and that it will uphold all ethical precedents uphold all ethical precedents previously established by said subcommittee. In time-sensitive cases, approval from 3 Level 4 personnel is sufficient to waive the review process. Update, June 30th, 2021. SCP-6147 has been approved for personal usage. Any personnel who wish to use SCP-6147 for personal reasons must receive approval from each of the following. God, my throat. Their immediate supervisor, their site-designated Ethics Committee liaison, and their Foundation-assigned psychologist. Description: SCP-6147 is a thaumaturgic ritual that allows the performer to access the memories of any deceased individual of their choosing, hereafter referred to as the target. Let me just... just regular water. Anyway, hereafter referred to as the target. Testing has confirmed that information recovered through SCP-6147 is an accurate representation of the target's memories. SCP-6147 has no effect if the chosen target is still alive. Following proper execution of the ritual, the performer will enter a trance-like state, which they may freely exit from at any time of their choosing. While in this state, the performer will experience a wide variety of sensory phenomena directly corresponding to the target's memories. The experience is most consistently compared to dreaming. The performer is able to control what memories they are perceiving, but the memories themselves are fixed and cannot be altered by the actions of the performer. Notably, in addition to the external sensory information the performer perceives, e.g. sights, sounds, etc., they perceive additional auditory information believed to represent the target's private thoughts from the particular memory.
My nose is really itchy for some reason.
Effective use of SCP-6147 is time-sensitive, as certain memories will deteriorate following the target's passing. Memories associated with general trivia or specific details such as dates and locations of events will become irretrievable almost immediately. Broader information concerning the target's life, such as their daily routine or autobiographical info, begins to deteriorate after several months. Thus far, the only memories found to be immune to this degradation are idealized depictions of moments the target deemed to be of great personal importance, and those memories associated with the target's feelings towards significant figures in their life. Addendum 6147-1 Discovery. Following negotiations with GOI 5917, the Wandsman, a limited intelligence sharing initiative was instituted. For further information relating to the terms of agreement, please see the Foundation Wandsman Treaty for the Preservation of Knowledge. The instructions for performing SCP-6147 were offered as a part of this treaty. The following is a discussion on the nature of SCP-6147. Interviewer, Dr. Cindy Jian, interviewed the second Wandswoman of Teroxia, I'll go with that. Forward, researcher Cindy Jian, a member of the Department of Applied Thaumaturgy, was assigned to interview a liaison from the Wandsman in order to ascertain the potential benefits and/or dangers of a thaumaturgic ritual the group had shared with the Foundation. This interview was conducted on June 7, 2021. So, are you partial to any names? Well, my official title is the Second Wandswoman of Terosia, Surveyor of Ways. However, it is customary to simply refer to those in our order by their locale of origin and number, so Terosia 2 will suffice. Well, Terosia 2, you may refer to me as Dr. Jian. You seem to be quite proud of that title. I had to face many obstacles to achieve it, something I'm sure you can understand. Ah, yes, apologies. I must admit, I'm used to being the one conducting the interview, which makes this experience quite unusual for me. Occupational hazard of a reporter, I suppose. It's really no problem at all. Now, we should get started. Yes, of course. So, what would you like to know about the ritual of Chrysalia? Chrysalia? The reason for the coloration of the title Chrysalia when spoken by the Wandswoman is unknown, though this only appears to affect electronic documents. Further research into the phenomenon of voice color is underway. Huh. Ritual of Chrysalia. Huh. Just a neat little bonus. Well, first off, I'd just like to say this ritual of Chrysalia seems, apologies for interrupting, but it's Chrysalia. I know it is rather pedantic of me to point out, but your voice color is far too dark. I've never heard the term voice color before. I don't think it's something that exists in human speech. Well, you learn something new every day, I suppose. Either way, please continue. As I was saying, the ritual seems far too good to be true. It doesn't require nearly enough materials for it to summon anything, and I personally have a hard time imagining how it could retrieve accurate memories without summoning some past version of the target. I too wondered how such a useful tool could be so simple when I first learned of it. You see, Chrysalia, though a brilliant thaumaturge, was a scientist above all else. Tell me, do you know of the noosphere? Noosphere, noun, the collection of all thought and consciousness. I thought that sounded vaguely familiar. The Foundation's done a fair amount of research into it. Well, Chrysalia discovered that the noosphere holds onto the memories of those we have lost, much like the biosphere preserves and fossilizes the dead. While minor, inconsequential memories are lost quite quickly, those memories that make us who we are, well, well, those are preserved indefinitely. I have to say that makes me quite curious how you and your colleagues used the ritual. When it was first described to me, I assumed it was closer to an archaeological tool, something to gain information from those before your time. However, based on what you've said, it seems to be something more personal. You are correct. The ritual was never meant to reach into the far past. In truth, it has become something akin to an autopsy among our ranks, or perhaps more accurately, an organ donation. Our maps, SCP-5917, even hold special markings indicating if we agree to the use of the ritual to recover our memories. It is helpful when a loss is unexpected. It gives those who knew the departed a chance for closure they would not have otherwise had. I can understand why you value the ritual so much. It feels rare to come across something so kind-hearted in the world of thaumaturgy. Yes, but still I must warn you of one potential danger associated with the ritual. As with many sources of respite, she poses a threat of addiction. Chrysalia herself created it in the hopes of alleviating her grief over the loss of her child. She wished to return to those joyous days they spent together, if only for a moment. However, what was meant to be a simple goodbye quickly became her sole occupation. I've seen far too many take continual advantage of the ritual in a vain attempt to escape grief. So, therefore, I urge you and the rest of your Foundation to use Chrysalia's creation with caution. It is a tool, not a solution. End log. Closing statement. Having studied a number of thaumaturgic rituals in the past, I can say with certainty that SCP-6147 is among the most cost-effective I've seen. Though its uses are limited, the simplicity of the ritual, along with the benefits of being able to recover information from agents lost in the field, or even GOI operatives, makes it an indispensable asset to the Foundation. It is my professional opinion that SCP-6147 be implemented into standard Foundation operations effective immediately. Dr. Cindy Cheon. Addendum 6147-2, Incident 6147-1. On June 18, 2021, Dr. Researcher Thompson discovered that materials from the Department of Applied Thaumaturgy's General Regents storeroom had gone missing. A subsequent investigation into all personnel with access to the storeroom was conducted. Dr. Jian, who had the day off, could not be reached, leading to Agent Kevin Hayes being dispatched to her home. Upon arriving, Agent Hayes overheard Dr. Jian reciting a ritual within. In response, he promptly proceeded inside and detained her for the use of thaumaturgy without proper authorization. Access recovered evidence. A thorough investigation of Dr. Jian's home was conducted in order to ascertain potential motives. Below is a list of relevant discoveries. Redacted, materials necessary for the performance of SCP-6147, several of which match the stolen materials from Site-17, a ritual circle drawn in chalk found on the floor of Dr. Jian's living room. Iconography matches that required for SCP-6147, a framed photograph of an unidentified woman found beside the ritual circle. Unlike other materials, the photograph holds no relevance to SCP-6147, and Dr. Jian's personal journal. See contents below. The following is a series of entries from Dr. Jian's personal journal of particular interest to the case and her relationship to the Foundation. May 14th, 2021, Dr. Alex still feels weird to use her first name, recommended I start keeping a journal, wants me to have a place I can vent frustrations. I was initially against the idea, but she said if I wasn't going to talk about certain things during our sessions, I should at least have some place I can say what I need to. The thing is, I do want to talk about Aunt or her. I just can't. Still can't even write her name, let alone say it out loud. So I guess I'll be keeping a journal now. I can't do this. May 19th. Dr. Alvarez didn't even show up for work today. We were supposed to go over those Hittite texts they just brought in, see if we could learn anything about their limited thaumaturgic capabilities. However, he didn't even bother phoning in, which left me to take the blame when I couldn't figure out any of the rituals. It isn't really my fault they assigned me on a case outside my field of study. I would love to see Alvarez try to interpret the symbology used by Mudong. I just don't understand why they let that asshole... I really hate that Alex wants me to write these things in pen. Not being able to erase things is really starting to annoy me. Anyways, as I was saying, I don't understand why they let him get away with stuff so easily. I tried to bring up the problem with Dr. Marcos, but I'm not sure how much he'll be able to do. He generally means well, but I don't think he quite realizes what the root of the issue is. We used to make fun of assholes like Alvarez all the time together. I'm just glad she never had to meet any of them. May 26th. Bit of a weird update from work today. Evidently, thanks to some weird stuff going on over at Site 33, the Foundation is going to be working with a GOI known as the Wandsmen. Since most of their anomalous abilities seem to be related to thaumaturgy, that puts our department at the forefront of this collaboration. Guess I'm going to be working with some bird people in the near future. Imagine that. June 7th. I was pretty annoyed when they first assigned me to research the ritual of Chrysalia. I'm certain they passed off the more flashy research opportunities to the guys around the office. On top of that, I wasn't even sure why we were containing the thing, since the only real threat comes from its limited potential to steal Foundation secrets, but next to no one even knows the ritual exists. However, after speaking with Terosha 2, I felt pretty lucky. The Foundation loves to paint magic in one of two ways. First, they will treat it as a clinical practice and try to drain all the heart out of it. When that fails, they will demonize it and make it seem like an affront to even consider using it. It's hard not to get bogged down by it all, and I'd be lying if I said that past few months hadn't made me start believing them. That's why I was so excited when Terosha 2 explained how the Wandsmen used it. To see a magic ritual integrated so casually into a community, all for the benefit of its members. It reminded me of the stories that my grandmother used to tell me, the same stories that drove me to learn thaumaturgy, to become top of my class, to pour hours of my time into the Foundation in the hopes that I could improve things. But even more than that, I was just excited by what it did. I know it's a long shot, but I'm going to put in a recommendation with some of the higher-ups in the department. They already wanted to know if we could use it in Foundation operations, but I'm hoping I can convince them that it would be beneficial to let staff use it for more personal reasons. June 9th. They cut out the majority of my analysis of the ritual. They only left in the parts about how it could help the Foundation's mission, but completely removed any mention of personal usage. Why am I even surprised? Doesn't matter how long or hard I've worked for them, they're stuck in their damn ways. It was stupid to hope I could. I just wanted to. 6 months, and I still can't even bear to write about it. I thought this would be my chance to... June 15th. I'm going to use SCP-6147. I don't have some grand illusion I'll get away with it. I already set up a meeting with an ethics committee liaison for the 21st under the guise of a workplace incident. Maybe I actually should complain about some of the assholes in my department, but I'm not sure how well that'll go over while I'm turning myself in. I'll have to steal some of the supplies on Thursday, as I doubt I'd be able to find some of that stuff at a local store, especially not redacted. I was really hoping I could convince the Foundation of the benefits of the ritual. I wanted to get proper approval to use it, but I guess it was pretty foolish of me to think that could happen. I just need to do this. I need to know. I'm just gonna scroll up, close that. Post-incident interview. Interviewer, Dr. Salvador Marcos, interviewed Dr. Cindy Jian. Forward, this interview was conducted on June 20th, 2021, following the examination of all relevant materials and confirmation that Dr. Jian was not under a compulsive effect. Dr. Salvador Marcos, Dr. Jian's immediate supervisor, was chosen to conduct this interview due to his affable relationship with Dr. Jian. Dr. Marcos enters the room. Oh, so are we finally done with the theatrics? Dr. Marcos sits down. How do you mean? The mimetic and telepathic testing. You can't tell me you actually thought that was necessary? Or you can't tell me you actually thought that was necessary. Doesn't matter what I think. You were using anomalous practices without authorization. It's just protocol. Really? Because I know for a fact that sending someone to break into my house doesn't fall under standard protocol. Look, I don't agree with how Agent Hayes handled the situation, but we couldn't get a hold of you and you were a suspect in an investigation. Honestly, though, it just sounds to me like you're frustrated you got caught. First off, considering how much everyone here is constantly breathing down my neck, I knew there wasn't much point in hiding it. I was planning to report myself once I was done anyways. So no, I'm not upset that I got caught. I'm pissed off at the fact that despite dedicating years of my life here, people were just waiting to accuse me of something the second the chance jumped at them. I mean, tell me, how long did it take before someone accused me? Dr. Marcos remained silent. Wow. That says a lot more than you think it does. Cindy, look, Dr. Marcos falls silent for a moment. Yes, the situation should have been handled better, but that doesn't change what happened. Your job is on the line here, and I'd hate to see you throw it away. You're gonna have to start explaining yourself. I was performing SCP-6147. If you take a look around my house, as I'm sure you already have, you'll find the materials and ritual circle match those laid out in the instructions. Dr. Marcos looks over the file in front of him. Well, that certainly does line up, but it doesn't answer the question of why. I'm sure you can deduce as much. Or I'm sure you can deduce that much. It isn't really the time to play the guessing game, so maybe it'd be best if you simply told me. Dr. Gion sighs. I wanted to access the memories of someone from my personal life. They passed 6 months ago. Who were they to you? I don't see how that information is relevant here. Look, all we've got to go off is what you tell us. If they have any reason to suspect ulterior motives, they will. It's in your best interest to tell us as much as you can. Dr. Gion remains silent for a moment. Dr. Gion pauses once again, staring at the table. She was my girlfriend. We were together for 2.5 years. I was planning to propose, but never got the chance. Her name was Amelia Moore, if you need to look her up. I knew it! How is this the first time I'm hearing about this? I mean, we've worked in the same department for years now. Guess I didn't trust the people here with that part of my life, especially considering my gender and race were already enough fuel for them. Both Dr. Marcos and Dr. Gion remained silent for some time. What were your intentions in accessing her memories? I just needed closure. We'd gotten into a fight. I'd been paying more attention to this goddamn job than her. I just needed to know that she didn't hate me in the end. I needed to be sure that despite all the secrets I kept, she knew that I loved her. Dr. Gion appears to stifle tears. God, she didn't even know what I actually did for a living. She thought I was an anthropologist studying ancient cultures. I kept ignoring the best thing in my life because of this stupid job. Because I had... still have this need to prove myself. You have nothing to prove. Bullshit. I've worked twice as hard just to earn half the opportunities as some of the other people here. You're gonna try to tell me that I'm respected on the same level as everyone else when they sent someone to invade my home the other day? Dr. Gion falls silent. I'm sorry. For everything. I know my words can't change how you've been treated, and I'm sorry that this stuff has been happening under my nose. I'm going to do better. I'll make sure stuff like this stops going overlooked. Dr. Marcos pauses and covers his eyes for a moment before sighing. Unfortunately, that just makes this next part more difficult to say. Despite having harmless motivations, you still effectively caused a containment breach. We'll still have to take disciplinary action. Well, maybe those just shouldn't be the containment procedures. You aren't trying to suggest we just let anyone perform it? I mean, didn't the wandswoman warn us about how easy it is to abuse it? Look, general use of SCP-6147 is being implemented Foundation-wide. Even if it's locked behind higher clearance levels, people are still going to hear about it. And no strongly worded document or cryptic warning is going to stop someone in mourning from trying to use it. We should at least give people the option. It'd be much easier to supervise anyways. And more importantly, we'd actually be helping people. The Foundation would be doing something truly beneficial for its employees. I can't think of something as important as helping people find closure. Maybe you're right. However, I do believe that concludes this interview. Well, Dr. Gion, as your immediate supervisor, I'll be suspending you for 2 weeks with pay. Dr. Gion appears surprised. I think I can live with that. Closing statement. On June 22nd, 2021, an anonymous proposal was submitted to the Ethics Committee and the head of the Department of Applied Thaumaturgy, recommending the implementation of private usage of SCP-6147. Following a series of discussions on the matter, the proposal was approved due to its low security risk and its potential benefits to Foundation staff. The Sapphics deserve better! Sapphics deserve better than this bureaucratic bullshit. I mean, of course, the majority of SCPs tend not to have, like, a smooth or happy ending. This one at least is bittersweet. Whew. Streaming for about a total of 3 hours, roughly. Maybe in just a few minutes. It's just a shame that the Pride logo didn't appear on this article. Tonight was a lot of fun, honestly. Honestly, it was quite a lot of fun. I was in fucking hysterics over Big Egg and 3516. I'm glad I actually had such a genuine guffaw during stream. That felt really good. Well, with all that covered, that was a lot of damn fun. Nothing too spooky or sinister. We had a fitness DVD that compels people to, to exercise to death. There's the Hindenburg photo that sets people ablaze. Oh, and then there was the Russian church with the fusion between stone and flesh with blood, which, is undoubtedly related to Sarkicism, which is another, really big group of interest in SCP lore. They're basically a cult that worships a goddess known as Yaldabaoth, who is a goddess of flesh, tissue, anatomy, blood, anything adjacent. And they're basically worshipping, you know, flesh and committing the release of like all sorts of fleshy abominations, flesh diseases, just flesh. That's their whole spiel. Which, if you ask me, you know, somebody who tends to, you know, I'm not gonna lie, like, every once in a while I get fascinated by stuff like body horror and such. So, like, sarcasm is definitely something I've been gradually looking deeper into, just out of my own personal curiosity. Just like, how deep do these layers go? How deep does this rabbit hole go? How deep does this esophagus go? Oh, and then of course there was the rubber duck. Rubber duck that, you know, if you try to touch it with your bare skin, it will impale itself in you and turn your inner liquids into water. Water and pink soap bubbles. $35.16, man. I'm still thinking about it. Oh, that was amazing. Well, I hope in the future we can find more similarly interesting and fucking hilarious SCPs, and I can share them to my lily pals. Because I'm pretty sure most of these were, you know, definitely along more the obscure side. I mean, obscure in the sense, like, a couple of them, you know, a few of them were just new, so obviously they haven't had much chance to gain traction yet. But, you know, then there's like the Hindenburg photograph and the Exercise DVD. Oh, also the inverse, like, demons worshipping a human dude. Like, that concept, I gotta steal that. That's just too good. I gotta use that for something. This was a good stream. I hope y'all would agree, my lily pals, and I always appreciate you and your patronage and your viewership and your just general support. Big Froggy hugs. Yeah. And let's go find someone to raid now. Who's online? First and foremost, because I've been forgetting, like, here and there. Raid message for subs. Raid message for not subs. Woohoo! Woohoo! Alright, let's take a peeky. Peeksy. We got Sunset. We got, Kay. We got Lori. Yuzu. Zwina. Adela. Exalted Violet. Lilac. Rosalind. I'd say let's raid Exalted Violet, because I know she's raided us a few times, and you know, it'd probably be very good to pay back the favor one of these days. Exalted Violet. She's also doing just chatting. I'm not sure quite what about. But yeah, let's just pop in and give him some love. Yeah, some Froggy appreciations. From Froggy to Robot, because she is a robot girl. Very good. So next Monday, planning to stream. Currently, you know, obviously this is subject to change, but right now I'm kind of feeling like getting back into Paradise Killer. Like, I know we only got to see X amount of content in that game, but you know, we could always play and find out more, and I want to get back to my demon ladies. So until Monday, if indeed I do play Paradise Killer, my lily pals, oh yeah, sweetie!